Well, the preseason has come and gone, and we are ready for opening night for the Charlotte Hornets. Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Taylor in Uptown Charlotte, North Carolina, here at the Spectrum Center as we get ready to kick off the 2019-2020 campaign for the Charlotte Hornets. This place is going to be loud, full of excitement to see what this new young team is like. There are teal towels. People are going to be waving them. It's going to be quite the atmosphere. Now, of course, all of this got started during the training season when we had training camp. And, of course, a lot of questions needed to be answered. Of course, who is going to be the veteran leaders? Who is going to be the identity of this team? We'll figure all that out. But in order to do that, let's take a quick look at this roster. Now, as we take a look at this roster, the biggest question is who's going to replace all-star guard Kemba Walker? This year, the man expected to handle that task is former Celtic Terry Rozier. Rozier said in training camp that the biggest hurdle for him is going to be to step up his scoring, as he feels he's more a facilitator than a scorer, and he needs to learn to communicate in this Hornets system. How difficult that's going to be, we'll find out, of course, as the season rolls along. Now, of course, some other veteran influences could come from Malik Monk and Nick Batum. Malik Monk struggled last season with flashes of productivity. He averaged 9.2 points per game in the preseason and has done a lot to get his body stronger. The question is, can he be consistent throughout this season? But Mitch Kupchak said recently that Monk is going to have to step it up now. And of course, the question is, does he mean you better do it or we're going to get rid of you? Or we just need to figure out what we're going to do with that? Now, as for Nick Batum, we all know that he has struggled. Hornets fans, they can go either way when it comes to Nick Batum. The biggest question is, he had a pretty successful offseason playing for the French team. Can he carry that success over to this season? Now, as we continue to look at the roster and how this team is going to get wins, it needs to be an all-hands-on-deck approach. That means we need to go with some of the younger veterans to see if they can step up and play this season. Of course, what I'm talking about is Miles Bridges, who really had a pretty good preseason, Devontae Graham, and last but definitely not least, Dwayne Bacon. We'll see how those three perform for the Hornets in this 2019-2020 campaign. Now, we can all have questions about this roster and what this team's going to look like, but the person who's going to give us the real answer is head coach James Borrego.
A lot of evaluation. I mean, until we play an actual regular season game, we won't know how these guys respond. But I'll continue to evaluate them. If we have to change the lineup night to night, I'll do that until I figure out, the best lineup for our group. But this is the group we're going with tonight. Whatever happens Friday, happens Friday.
Now, while head coach James Borrego has said he wants this offense to play fast, on the defensive side of the ball, he wants them to play hard. And in order to do that, you got to protect the rim. Get the rebounds, make sure you play good, hard defensive basketball, and that is going to be needed from everybody. Cody Zeller, somewhat injury-prone last season, will need to step up along with the others that play that baseline. Now, everybody comes into this league with dreams and expectations, but they all begin at the same place as a rookie. And this year, the two rookies we'll be looking to contribute are P.J. Washington, who was drafted along with Cody Martin. We'll get to Martin in a minute, but Washington has been impressive in the preseason. Not an outwardly flashy guy. His performance has snuck up on everybody, and he's played pretty well. During the preseason, playing just over 25 minutes per game, Washington averaged 12.5 points per game and shot 63% from the field. Hornets GM Mitch Kupchak said Monday that Washington will likely be a part of the regular rotation, and he anticipates Washington to see 15 to 20 minutes per night as part of a veteran-laden forward rotation. Washington started the Hornets' final three preseason contests with injuries to both Nick Batum and Marvin Williams. As for Cody Martin, the second-round pick for the Hornets, he has an interesting story that began in North Carolina and wound its all the way to Nevada. He's also part of this rookie set. Cody Martin and brother Caleb are both part of the Hornets organization now, and if you can tell them apart, good luck. But before we get any further about how this duo of rookies can contribute, let's take a look at Cody Martin.
The biggest thing is just really being appreciative of my experience and how it's been going. And I think just understanding and realizing where I came from and where my brother came from, and just being here, him being on the same training camp team right now, just knowing that we're blessed and to be able to play here, being from North Carolina, basically being from down the street, and just understanding that that work pays off, but at the same time the work has just begun again. So it's just about getting better and not becoming complacent, but appreciating everything along the ride and just having fun with the experience and trying to get better every single day. I think it went pretty solid. I think we got a lot of great guys here. Coaching staff, everybody was excited, especially for me. It was my first time, so I try to get a lot of tips and pointers from the guys that's been here before, like the Biz, Tay Miles, Big, Marv, Billy, Cody, Biz, all of them. Try to talk to them some and see how it's gonna go. But I think for the most part, it's pretty fun. Like we got after it, competed a lot, and I think we got better for sure. Honestly, it's crazy because I remember I was here my freshman and sophomore year. We played here, so to be back here, it means a lot just to be from North Carolina. Used to play at North Carolina State, played obviously here in the same conference when we played UNC. So it's awesome to be back here and see some familiar faces, especially being from really right down the street. So it's awesome to be back here. I've had a couple so far. They bailed me out on one rookie duty already. I was supposed to bring, we were supposed to bring, all the rookies supposed to bring Chick-fil-A to the plane. But other than that, right now, it's just like little stuff like towels, what seat you're gonna sit at, and stuff like that. But I'm sure more is coming, for sure. They're not on us too bad right now, but I don't want to jinx it at the same time. I think, with anything, it takes time, but understanding how we play, what we value as a team and as a organization, and just going out there and executing it. I think, to have guys on our team and the vets on our team, to have these guys that are able to help us and teach us and walk us through stuff, it makes it easier for us, the new guys that are coming in, to really transition very easily. So I think having those guys, it's an easy transition, as well as our staff, our coaching staff, they make it easy with the way they explain stuff and how they coach us. So obviously it's going to take a little bit more time just to, master it and just get as good as we can at it every single day. But with anything, it takes time, but I know for sure we're getting better. Honestly, I look at Marv right now, he's OG, he's been doing it for a long time. And for him just to be able to play the way he plays now, and he's just a great guy, great character, very unselfish dude, but very humble at the same time.
What a great piece on Cody Martin. Now, of course, they are both great rookies, Cody Martin and P.J. Washington. We'll see what happens as the season progresses with our rookies. Now, as for tonight's opponent, the Chicago Bulls, the two teams are somewhat alike. They have some veterans, they have some youngsters, and I think they're all just trying to answer questions on what the 2019-2020 season will look like. I think tonight will be a dogfight, but I do believe that the Hornets will get victory number 1 on the season. They've got some tough games after this, so it'd be nice to get out of the gate fast. Of course, tonight, the Hornets will get to win. Of course, as for the rest of the season, I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens with this version of the Charlotte Hornets. We need to find that leadership. We needed to know what defines this team and exactly where they go from here. But I can promise you that James Borrego, the head coach, will have them ready to play. I'm figuring they're going to win somewhere between, and I'm going to go high, 30 to 40 wins. I think they're going to surprise some people. Don't take them for granted and don't sleep on them. We'll see what happens. Have a great night. I'm Jeff Taylor from the Spectrum Center here in Uptown Charlotte, North Carolina. Have a great night.